So this is the reading for today's lesson, which is 11.6 Car Loans. What are you learning? In this lesson, you will examine the difference between a car loan and a car lease. To-do list. Step 1. Read pages 12 to 15 in Paying for College and Cars. Start at car loans and finish at financing my first car. So we're going to scroll down till we hit car loans. Car loans, where to get information. There are many decisions you must make before purchasing or leasing a car. The Federal Trade Commission has many publications that help you answer these questions so you can get a car at the best price. You can download brochures from the FTC's website listed in the For Further Information section of your participant guide, including Buying a New Car, which includes tips on how to choose a car, information on negotiating price and considerations when financing a car, Buying a Used Car, which includes information explaining different payment options, dealer sales, private sales and warranties. Other FTC publications include Financing a Car, Fueling Up, Leasing a Car, and Renting a Car. To save potentially hundreds or even thousands of dollars, it pays to consult these resources before you go car shopping. The minimum requirements for obtaining a car loan or lease vary. In general, you and/or the co-qualifier must be at least 18 years old. The lender will want to make sure you have sufficient income to pay the loan. The lender will also check your credit history and want to know how long you have held your present and past jobs and how long you've been at your current residence and possibly your past residences. Car loans versus car leases. There are several factors that you need to consider when deciding between getting a car loan or car lease, including ownership potential, wear and tear, monthly payments, mileage limitations, auto insurance, and cost. Activity 3, car loans and car leases. This will have a really big role in the little chapter check that you're doing at the end of today's lesson. So make sure you take a look at this. It is important to understand the differences and carefully consider all of the costs and benefits before deciding whether to buy a lease or a loan. So here's what's going on, guys. Factors. Ownership potential. This means the chance that you will own the car. A car loan. The car belongs to you and the bank that gave you the loan until you've paid it off. Then the car becomes yours. A car lease. You are essentially renting the car from the dealership. The lease is like a rental agreement. You can make monthly payments to the dealership for a set number of months. The car does not belong to you. When the lease ends, you will have to return the car to the dealership. You may decide to purchase the car at the end of the lease. However, the total cost generally ends up being more than it would if you would have just bought the car. Wear and tear, car loans. No additional costs for wear and tear are included in your loan agreement. Car lease. Most leases charge you extra money for any damage found at the end of the lease that goes beyond normal wear and tear. Monthly payments for a car loan. These payments are higher, but you only pay them for a set term. Then you own the car. For a car lease, payments are lower because you are not purchasing the car, the dealership still owns it. As long as you lease the car, you will continue to make monthly payments. Mileage limitations for a car loan? There aren't any. Mileage limitations for a lease? Leases restrict the number of miles you can drive in the car each year. If you exceed the mileage allowed, you will have to pay the dealer for each mile over the limit according to your lease. For example, a dealer may charge you 15 cents for every mile that you drive over 24,000 miles in 2 years. If you drive the car an additional 3,000 miles, you would owe the dealer $450 for those miles. Auto insurance for a loan. It is usually less expensive than auto insurance for leased cars. Insurance may cost more during the loan than it will after the loan is repaid because the lender may require more coverage. Auto insurance for a lease. It usually costs more if you lease a car than it does if you buy. Most car leases require you to carry higher levels of coverage than agreements do. Some insurance carriers may also consider leasing to be higher risk than purchasing. Cost. For a loan, purchasing a car is usually more cost-effective if you plan to keep the car for a long time. However, in the short term, costs will probably be greater than a car lease because your total loan amount and monthly payments tend to be higher. Cost for a car lease. A lease will probably cost less than a car loan in the short term because your total loan amount and monthly payments are likely to be lower. However, if you exceed the mileage on a leased car and/or decide to buy it outright once your lease is expired, it might end up costing you more. Make sure you find out what the requirements are and get a cost estimate from your insurance company before deciding whether to lease or buy. Remember, you need insurance coverage for your car before you can legally drive it away from the dealership. Financing my first car. We'll leave that for another time. Now let's go back to today's lesson, and you'll notice a second reading and step 2. It is a website Nationwide, which is an insurance company, and this is giving you some helpful information regarding car loan financing. We understand that getting a car loan can be confusing. That's why we're prepared to help you learn how to get a car loan and make smart decisions every step of the way. I chose this reading because it's a good thing for us to examine because it teaches us how to be smart financially, whether or not when we end up getting a car in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, we know what to consider. Car loan financing tips. If you want to lease or buy a new or used car, first you should think about how you're going to finance it. Auto loan financing can be a great way to afford a new car, but it's important to prepare yourself as much as possible before making your purchase. We know you're anxious to start driving a new car, but don't lose sight of the investment. Getting a car loan through a dealership is not always the best deal, and you can end up paying more than necessary. After all, you want to get a great deal on the purchase price of your car and a great rate on your car loan. Spend some time preparing to get a car loan now, and you will gain the benefits of your smart borrowing decisions for years to come. Know your credit score. Your credit score has a large impact on the interest rate you receive for your auto loan. The higher your credit score, the lower your interest rate might be. Review your credit score and look for any flaws in your payment history of loans, credit cards, or other debt. If you can delay buying a new car for a little while, spend some time improving your credit score by making regular payments and paying off existing debt. By doing so, you're likely to get a better interest rate on your auto loan, which means paying less on what you borrow. Review your budget. Take a look at your budget to determine the amount of a monthly car loan payment that you can comfortably afford. Knowing what is and isn't within your means or financially doable means whether or not you can pay it will help you stay on track during the auto loan financing process. Compare prices. If you know the make, model, and year of the car you want to finance, do some price comparisons and estimate the amount of the total loan you would need. If you don't know what kind of car you'd like, you can get pre-approved for an auto loan using the same application. This means that when you find the right car, you'll already have the financing prepared to buy it. Applying for car loan financing. Now that you know how to get a car loan, all you have to do is submit an auto loan application. After you apply for car loan financing and have been approved, you'll receive loan documents which state the amount of the loan, interest rate and monthly payments. They will also include the terms and conditions that you need to carefully review. If everything looks good to you, all you have to do is sign the documents and return them to accept your new loan. So if you look at today's lesson, let's go back together. Your next step is going to be to complete the reading check. After that, congratulations, you're done. If you have any questions today, let me know.